my plan.
$5 from Kevin Kirchman. Thank you very much, sir. I'm currently using a no-name Korean 60 Hz 1440p monitor for FPS gaming, and I'm looking to upgrade as refresh rate leaves something to be desired. I'm using a GTX 1070. Should I drop to 1080p and go with 144 Hz, or 1440p with 144 Hz are a bit more expensive? If so, which one would you recommend? Just go with the 1440p. Go with the 1440p.
Yeah, I'd stick with 1440. I prefer the resolution over the refresh rate, honestly.
It's worth it.
And just
It depends for me.
if the 1440p higher refresh rate monitors are out of your price range right now, I would just give it a little bit of time.
Just save it.
Although I feel your pain. If you're playing at 60 Hz, if you find a really good deal on like a high refresh rate 1080, I would say maybe try getting both. Like that's certainly an option. You could keep the 1440 for a higher resolution, monitor to have here with stuff on it, and then you can game on the 1080 one at the same time. That's a nice thing to be able to do as well. Yeah, I hate dropping resolutions. I don't want to do that if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
$5 donation from Ulysses Hoyle. Hoyle.
Would people still buy a system with the Core i7 3770K paired with two 980 Ti's and a custom loop? You guys are awesome, by the way. Built my current 6950X workstation system by researching you guys and other YouTubers. Well, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's still a very capable system.
The question, would
price.
people still buy it?
The prices.
Does that mean that you have it and you want to sell it?
It sort of sounds like.
If you just built a 6950X workstation, then maybe yeah, that's your old system. I mean, for the right price, someone will buy it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul.
Yeah.
If it is your old system, you need to be selling it as an old system price, or an old system price. You can't be selling it new or whatever. It needs to be like, all right, it's been like used for like 2 years, so drop the price 30, 40%, whatever it is, and someone will buy it. Because someone who doesn't care about the latest and greatest, they just need something that performs well, is going to see that as a steal. If you can price it correctly.
I mean, since it's custom loop and everything too, that also complicates it a little bit. I mean, they're going to have to place a little bit more trust in you personally that the loop was done properly and everything. But yeah, clean it out, change your fluid, and tighten everything down, and give them a good solid story of the life of the system and what it's been used for and how solid and reliable it's been. Yeah. And then you should be just fine.
And just watch your ass on shipping. Like, make sure you pad the shit out of everything.
I would say don't ship it.
Yeah.
Sell it local.
Yeah.
You don't want to ship a water
if you can
system
possibly.
like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Brutal.
$10 donation from Shantanu Joshi. Back-to-back live, baby. PS kind of long. Yeah, I know. Why are there so few intelligent small form factor case designs like the N case and SFF forum stuff? Haven't been PC Master Race too long, so wondering why the community wasn't as enthusiastic about SFF. Like the Node 202 felt like only the mass market only mass market SFF case, and it's definitely not at the premium build quality of the high-end cases. Is the community not enthusiastic, or thermal issues? I get comparable temps to my Micro ATX in the end case, marketing or sales issue. I don't know why no more SFF. Please enlighten me. I don't know.
You can't fit as much power or cooling in a small form factor build.
Yeah.
I think hardcore enthusiasts want a little bit more.
It can also be more difficult to dampen sound, so you might have fans that are more right next to the exterior of the case that might make more noise, that kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like there's been some gains in that really small form factor arena this past year.
There have been a lot of tower style mini ITX small form factor builds, like the M3 Evolved ATX and the Nano S, the NZXT Manta. Those are all small form factor systems that are kind of more tower style. Those have taken off in 2016 like crazy. But as far as like the really tiny ones, like the Node 202, the only other big one that I can think of that was really good was the Dr. Sentry, or no, Dr. something, or it was called the was it Sentry? It was like Linus reviewed it, Dimitri reviewed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It looks like one of those sentries from Portal.
Yeah. It was.
But that was a really good one.
Was that a Kickstarter or something like that?
Yes, I believe it was. Guys in chat, let us know. I'm sure you will any second now. But yeah, those aren't they're not quite as popular because even with something like the Node 202, if you're an enthusiast, you want to be able to cram in as much power as you can, usually, and there's a lot of sacrifices that you have to make the smaller the form factor. And I remember when I first built my Note 2 build, I put a 6700K in there and was like, this is going to be awesome, but it could only fit a CPU cooler 47 meters tall, so even though I was using a premium Noctua cooler, one of their little low-profile ones, I was still getting temps in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that would be a big reason why people would stray away from that.
There are limits. There are just limits due to physics.
Yes, Dr. Zaber Sentry. That's what it was.
Ah, yes.
Thank you. You're looking.
Yeah, there's limits due to physics of how much heat can be dissipated in a certain volume of space, and that's what you start to run up against with those really, really small cases. So, yeah, maybe that's also a little bit to do with it. Also, I mean, case manufacturers have to see enough demand for them to put in the time and effort to develop a case and actually manufacture it and create a product that they can sell to people. And small form factor is just I think it's gaining in popularity, but it's still not as popular as accessible as larger size ones. So yeah, you just don't see as much investments from the manufacturers from that side. Thank you for the question.
Yep.
$5 from Wishbone.
Xbox Scorpio specs. What are your thoughts? And guessing the price, it's going to be 4K, 60 FPS VR support console. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I've only read the briefest smatterings of it. I believe it's still going to be AMD powered.
Yeah.
And that's all I really know. I think there might be rumors about Vega or Zen in there or something like that, but again, I'm really not sure. That's completely a shot in the dark guess for me right now, so please don't hold me to that. I think consoles need 4K 60 FPS and VR support in order to remain competitive with PCs.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens as that gets closer to being launched. In the meantime, it was nice to be able to buy an Xbox One for less than $250 this holiday season.
That's pretty sweet.
I got one specifically to play Final Fantasy 15, and also because it's a 4K Blu-ray player.
Yeah. It's not a bad deal.
Yep.
Alright, finally, our last donation here is from Robert Harrison. Thank you very much for the $5. When will 3440 by 1440 with G-Sync be affordable? I don't want to spend $1,000 on a month. So, here's what I'll say, is if you want it right now, if you want that spec right now, then look into Korean panels. Because there are some ultra-wide Korean panels now that have that. Not with oh, you're right, it's G-Sync. Fuck.
G-Sync.
Okay, with G-Sync, yeah, you're gonna have to wait maybe like a year.
Okay, so
year and a half,
2 years. The answer here is market pressure, and the market pressure needs to come from AMD. And one of the things that AMD will talk about over and over and over again whenever they're comparing themselves to the offerings from NVIDIA is with FreeSync, there's a much wider range of monitors available that have FreeSync support. They come down to a much lower price point, and they do not have the premium price, extra cash money that you gotta pay for the units with the G-Sync module.
Yeah.
That said, for something like 3440 by 1440, you need more GPU horsepower to push something like that. And AMD's options in that range are like the Fury cards, which kind of made a splash when they launched, but they're already seeming kind of last gen, so they're not quite as popular. Like the 480 is kind of where it's at for the AMD side, but 480 is it's difficult to play on a 3440 by 1440 monitor. So Vega would be my answer for you. Whenever that might come out from AMD, hopefully will be more of a challenge to NVIDIA in the higher end for graphics cards. And if AMD can say, look, here is our $300, $400-ish graphics card, and it's so very competitive against NVIDIA's offerings in this range, and can easily push a monitor like that, and like, oh look, to get for NVIDIA, you got to spend $1,600, $1,200 on an Predator X34, and $400 on a GTX 1070, and for AMD, we have our $350 card and this like really cool $600, $700, $800 monitor, Like, that's gonna be the competition that NVIDIA needs to bring the price down for the G-Sync stuff. So,
Yeah.
if you're already invested in the NVIDIA ecosystem, it sucks because you really don't have options other than spending the money or waiting for the competitive products to come out from the other side.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to take you longest. Good luck with that,
Hopefully
Robert.
next year sometime.
That's pretty much going to wrap it up for the donations. If there's anything in our inboxes about people buying stuff,
Oh, yeah.
we can shout that out really quickly for Johnson's.
I've got 2.
Okay, I've got a few. Let's see. I've got Adam. Thank you very much, Adam, for picking up some glasses there. Johnson to you. Also, John, for picking up a mug
Nice,
and a
John.
shirt. Love ya.
A shart?
A shirt.
A shart.
Thank you, Ben, for picking up another hoodie. You picked up a hoodie. Thank you, sir. James. For
James
picking
gets
up
a double Johnson.
Double Johnson for picking up a mug.
And you got a mug for me, too.
Hey, double mugs.
Mug.
Woo.
Getting them mugs.
Philip S. Not to say your last name. I didn't say your last name.
No, you didn't.
Philip S. Thank you also for picking up a mug.
Also got that mug.
Woo. And Vincent for picking up a CPU Cooler shirt. Hopefully you enjoy it. And that's it.
I don't know what that is.
That's it.
Okay, and then I have a Johnson for David. David S., thank you so much. Picked up a mug as well as a thumbs through navy blue t-shirt.
Awesome. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight's show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 90.
Thanks, everybody.
Woo! We, again, will not be having a show next week because we'll be at CES pretty much, or getting ready to head over there. So just bear that in mind. You will have your Tuesday evening open to do whatever other festivities you may indulge in. There's not going to be a show tonight, or after party tonight, because I've got a lot of work to do afterwards. I'm sure Paul's got stuff too. But we will be seeing you guys on our respective channels soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do we have a host that we would like?
We do.
Or a Twitch partner that we would like to host ourselves?
Twitch.tv/Firecrow if you guys want something to do. I believe
Firecrow.
Cell has recommended Firecrow.
Okay.
I am pasting this in chat right now, so everyone go over there.
Let me Google it really quick to make sure it's not porn.
And hopefully it's not porn. We're trusting Cell with this one.
You know Cell.
It looks like he is playing an actual game called Astroneer right now, which looks fascinating. So tell Firecrow we said hello.
Astro. Raid the
And
shit out of
we're gonna host him in just a sec.
Yep.
Thanks you guys for watching. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and if you missed the first half of this show, the link should be down in the video's description.
Indeed. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye. You're streaming
In
live.
every way.
You're streaming live to Twitch and YouTube.
At the same time. Everyone.
Same time.
Everyone gets an equal shot at watching us.
So let's begin the show, as we always do, in a perfectly normal fashion, and nothing is out of the ordinary at all.
Yeah. No.
All right, good. See, we're live. Everything's fine.
Woo.
Everything is perfectly fine.
Why wouldn't it be?
Hey, everyone, and welcome to Awesome Hardware, the show that Kyle and I do every Friday evening. Every Tuesday.
Whoa.
Every Tuesday. Wow.
He's
All
only
right.
had one beer. I can confirm he has had.
No.
That's his first beer.
This is, yeah. all
You've
right,
had
I
three.
better-
He's
I
had
better
3
finish this
quarters
up.
of beer.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for being here.
I mean, he did a bunch of other stuff right before he came out. No, it's just heroin.
Yeah, it was all the meth. All right. So, hi YouTube, and thanks for being here. This is Awesome Hardware
Hello.
live show. Kyle and I, Tuesday evenings, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Twitch.tv/Awesome Hardware. YouTube, Paul's Hardware, Bitwit. Buy stuff at our stores if you want to help support us. That's not our store. That's Kyle's store. Bitwit.tech/store.
I have
Things
glasses.
to buy. Spend more money.
Do
Get
it.
some money off. Also, my store, paulshardware.net. Buy things if you want to. All right.
You'll get a Johnson.
Drinking some beer. Yes. You can drink beer too. Drink responsibly. Kyle is drinking Old Rasputin. I am about to start. Oh God, hurry. I got it. I'm about to start a Boddington's.
Like every time we crack open a Boddington's, it's basically screaming, "Chug me!
You
Chug
ha-
me now!"
You have like a 2.5 second gap. Yeah.
Didn't want to shotgun me, you pussy.
All right. So. Anyway,
It's a very abrasive beer. If you've never opened it from a can,
Was yours.
it just gets
abrasive.
gets right up in your face, right up in your grill. It's like, I'm coming. I came early. Are you trying to put it into the mic so people can hear it?
Is
Hear the fizzing?
it fizzing? Oh, I bumped the mic. I'm sorry.
It sounds like can.
Just gonna let that build right there.
The sounds
Builds
of
up
beer.
from the bottom. Okay. It's not all head. The head is
I can hear the ocean.
right here. Right, that's the head. This is the
Mhm.
part that's building down there. And if you could
Yeah.
look at it up close, it looks really cool. It's like a waterfall. It's pretty.
I'm just gonna upload a video of that. It's gonna do fabulous.
All right. Fair warning. Today's show is not very well planned. Usually we do have a pretty, decently planned out show. But I have a little bit of few things to talk about.
My half's planned out. I don't know what you're talking
Kyle's half is planned out. Going to
Not
talk
really.
about some Intel news about their far in the future stuff in 2019 and 2020. And then we're also going to grieve the loss of Carrie Fisher, who passed away today, unfortunately.
Yes.
We're all very sad about that.
Bummer.
Talk a little bit about hopefully the next year to come. Maybe try to have a rosy outlook if you can. And that's about all. Then we're going to do some Q&A, so it'll be lovely, good stuff. If you happen to do a donation in the gaming.youtube.com version of this live show, that is very welcome, of course. And I believe our good friend Cell, who does the moderations in there, is going to be gathering those. And we'll address those when we get to the Q&A section.
Yes.
So cool. Right, so let's go into that Intel news and start with news.
Now, how reliable?
Doing
I didn't
World
read
War
this whole article, but how reliable is this rumor?
How reliable is this rumor?
As far as rumors can go.
I don't know. I mean, it's early stuff. It's got the wrong button. It's got the air of credibility to some degree, but I mean it is WCCF Tech, so lots of salts or grains of salt.
Grains of salt.
Our boy Uzman Perzada is in here reporting about Intel's reportedly working on a brand new implementation of the x86 architecture.
Yep.
One that is much leaner and faster. So, yeah, there it is. I thought I had notes for this. Oh, I did, but I never pasted it. That would be useful.
I like to keep all my notes in separate places.
Exactly. All right. So anyway, the website this originates from is bitsandchips.it. Bits and chips, which is, .it. That's Italy. So I actually, I'm mainly relying on the WCCF Tech article. Yeah, this is definitely
For all the things I know.
this is Italian.
Italia.
So anyway, if you're Italian, one of our old school Italian viewers, let us know in the comments how reputable this website is.
Yep.
But yeah, so what do they mean by brand new x86 architecture? Well, they've been building on the x86 architecture ever since Intel invented it a long time ago. I don't know what year that was. It was in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, something like that.
Before I was born.
I'm probably wrong. But there's been certain elements of it because they have to build specific parts of the architecture for specific instruction sets that have gotten a little bloated. I mean, I guess you have to kind of be a CPU architect to really be able to look at something like that and say oh, it's bloated or whatever. But they have support for legacy stuff that's existed there, so that takes up room on the die and potentially, can generate more heat or be less efficient or that kind of thing. So the article here is effectively accusing Intel to some degree of, not doing a whole lot of innovation on top of this architecture. I mean, Intel has been very cyclical in their updates ever since they started TikTok, which they did as a response to AMD dominating with their FX series. It was in the 2005, 6, 7 time frame. And then Intel kind of petered out. AMD kind of petered out with their CPU architecture development. Intel has sort of plodded along, but there's definitely stuff that could be done to make it better. So the core legacy, it will come to an end, according to this article, when they switch over to this new version of x86. I mean, that's as far as it describes it. Actually comes out. So that would mean the end of Core series and the end of the Core naming system.
That's sad.
Potentially. I mean, again, this is all rumor and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of happy about that, actually.
What are they going to replace it with?
I don't know. What could they have? Everyone tell us in chat. Instead of Intel Core i7, what should Intel call their new processors?
Schryzen.
Schryzen? Right.
Schryzen.
Balls. No. Ryzen. Well, I mean, obviously you're playing off of Ryzen. Something better.
Summit Ridge architecture
Better than Ryzen.
The hen. It's the hen Ryzen.
Ryzen Pro. I have a mustache.
Yes, you do. So do I.
It's a delicious head on the beard. Okay, so anyway, other than the core naming system ending, we have Shizen J series, the Intel J series, the Thread, the Intel ripoff the Helium processor.
Just a picture of J on every Intel box.
7 the J's 2 cents series, the Nucleus Technoscope that's actually not bad.
Sounds cool.
Nucleus. The Crater. Okay, the Proton. Alright. That's also from Technoscope. You should go into marketing.
Yep.
Because those are actually both pretty good suggestions there. Nugget. The Nugget.
Intel Nugget?
They're now introducing
the
Intel Nugget
Nugget
processor.
8800K.
Hypercore. Core Ultra. What's your... Yeah, Core Ultra.
Or it was a Cyber Core X.
Cyber
was the fictional name that my brother-in-law and I were like saying, like, if we ever made a case, it'd be like Cyber Core, and then we were like, no wait, it's missing something.
Cyber
X. It needs an X at the end.
All right.
Gaming.
All right, some great suggestions there. I hope Intel is watching the show. They always do. They can't get enough. So yeah, the funny thing that the article also points out is that Intel, of course, originally invented the x86 architecture. AMD was the one who created the the 64-bit version of x86, the x86_64 extension. Intel had to license that from AMD in order to create 64-bit processors, whereas AMD has to license the x86 sort of core architecture there. Not Core as in the brand Core, but the anyway. Yeah, so there's kind of there's cross-licensing both ways from both companies. But whenever we talk about new Intel architecture, such as TikTok in the past, but now PAO, process architecture optimization, which is a die shrink new architecture on the smaller die, and then optimization of that architecture. But they've been essentially using the same x86 stuff underneath, just expanded with new features and new features every iteration. So for the first time, if this rumor turns out to be true, Intel might introduce an x86 architecture that is truly different. And they say x86 on a diet, where backward compatibility is no longer assured. No more backward compatibility. So yeah, buy one of these new processors and you can't use any software that exists right now. That's not really true. That's completely false.
Okay, good.
Okay. So the reason this would help is, as already kind of previously mentioned, they could remove legacy support stuff like SSE extensions, or screaming SIMD extensions is what SSE is. SIMD is single instruction, multiple data. But anyway, there's been lots of different versions. There have been many different versions of SSE that they've sort of, each different version has new features and stuff like that. It's listed in the specs when you look at like an Intel processor, like support for SSE2 or whatever the heck they're called. Most of the stuff people ignore, but this is very important when you're developing software, because the software ties in with these extensions in order to process efficiently. I think that's reasonably explained, I hope. Anyway.
That will suffice for now.
Yes, so the question of like, oh, no legacy support for older ones, that's not really a big deal because you can emulate in software the older SSE versions with newer SSE versions. Emulation.
Emulation's fun.
It's the future. Anyway, that's the most attempted explanation at CPU architecture I should attempt right now.
Does it say? Did you mention when this would be coming? Oh, Tiger Lake in 2019.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. So
2 years away.
yeah, it's one of the things I was. Let me see if I can find this right now. I'm gonna Google something on the fly. Kyle.
What?
fill time for 20 seconds.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my.
Yay.
Let's see. Someone.